Hey guys, there was a lot of huge updates just happened. So Marvel Rivals just did their little beta stream, and it was chocked full of great news. And one thing I will definitely commend them on is they listened. Like there was a lot of like balancing issue, like some were like very big balancing issues that needed to be adjusted, and they listened, 100%. So one of the biggest things is uh, the cyan venom. It will be unlocked at level 30, just like the Scarlet Witch in the alpha. So if you are in the beta, you hit level 30, you get that really cool venom skin. It's amazing. So first thing they talked about was Adam Warlock. Uh, so the reason they kind of picked him is because they're trying to tell a story in the game. There is actually a story in the game. If you don't ever get the chance to read it or anything, it's actually pretty cool. Um, Maybe we might do a video sometime down the road about that. Um, but yeah. So Adam Warlock, he is a being of cosmic force, specifically. Um, that's kind of why he was one of the most chosen like heroes. Not a lot of people know Adam Warlock as much. He was a one of the more original Guardians of the Galaxy. But he is a really cool character. So they kind of went over his abilities. So his left click is a like a basic, like he waves his staff and uh it does damage. It does headshot as well. His right click is a charge, shoots 5 bullets, similar to like a Zenyatta if you're familiar with that character in Overwatch. His E does a chain, like a chain heal. If you're familiar with like resto shamans in World of Warcraft, you might be familiar to that. Um, it does have a small cooldown though. His shift is it's like it's like a linking kind of thing where you can link up to multiple targets, and they do share so healing and damage taken. So if you heal one person, the healing also gets kind of split into the other people who are chained. Um, his passive was a like his cocoon. So like in the lore, he comes out of a cosmic cocoon, so he can kind of move around a little bit, and then he can just revive himself. His team ups were with Star Lord and Mantis. They can also do the Cosmic Cocoon. I think it was I believe 30-second cooldown for that. Um, his passive does also have a cooldown as well. I believe it was probably about 30 seconds as well. Um, his ultimate, which I was a little worried about that because like as an Overwatch 1 player, I had a little PTSD for playing Mercy, having to go hide and pop the mass res, and yeah. So I was a little worried about this. It is in a small area, which is really cool. And you only get a third of your health, so that's like it's not anything close to what the Mercy res was. Um, but yeah, that was Adam Warlock. So next they went over to Venom, which is really cool. His left click is like this like ranged tentacle, like da. And then the right click, he kind of like binds them near, like keeps them nearby so they can't really escape. Which is really good for being a tank. Like you're controlling the space. Like they can't escape, and they can't dive onto your back line. So it's it helps both ways. He does have an E shield, kind of like Hulk kind of does. Like actually, a lot of the tanks. We'll also go over another tank that gets a small shield later. So, but the difference with Venom is the lower his health, the bigger his little shield, shield gets. So and it's a temporary shield, so you still need to get healed. Um, his left shift is like the Spider-Man swing. You know, he's all like, "Wah!" and then you can activate. I believe it was the F button if you're on PC, and you can just die and go "Wah!" Which is really cool though. His passive, he can just like the other spider people, he can climb on the walls um and he can sprint on there too. His team up was with Penny Parker, um, and Penny and Peter Parker, um, and they do this like the little AOE spiky symbiote thing. Um, they can choose when to do it on a cooldown, of course. It's not like Venom hits the button and then they all start spiking. No, like Penny and Spider Man both choose when to do it. They introduced the 2099 Spidey Island map, which is very similar to the splash screen. Um, you'll see it there. Um, so they introduced some bombshell of some settings I was really excited for. Um, there was one thing that like some people were asking for. I know one person actually I talked to that I got an invite for. Um, he didn't play because it didn't have the mouse invert, so they do have that now, which is exciting. For people who actually use that. Um, I just grew up on just left goes left, right goes right. To each is their own. You can now play in full screen. So interesting enough, in the alpha, you could only play windowed full or windowed, so no actual full screen. But now you can play it with the resolution of your monitor, which is amazing. Um, and one of my favorite features that they dropped, you can change your reticles. You have different color options. You have red, white, and if I remember right, Danny was using blue for his like it was like a light blue. It was one of his favorite colors, and it helps him. But it was really cool. I loved it. Uh, like reticles, like changing your reticle is actually a very important thing in FPS, at least in my opinion. Some little update as well in the practice range. They changed it instead of if I remember, there was like Doombots in there. But they changed them to Galactica bots. I thought that was a pretty cool, neat little aesthetic. Um, Especially sometimes Galactica can be a bit annoying, and you just want to take your anger out of her. So they did go over some changes. The patch notes are up. I will have them listed um in the notes or the description down below. So make sure to click that and double check anything. So we'll start with Penny. Um, Penny now shoots a little bit faster. I thought her little shotgun needs to be there needed to be something, and they came up with the idea of making it like shoot a little bit faster to give her a little bit more damage. Um, she just wasn't performing compared to like other tanks. Apparently there was a bit of an exploit when it comes to Doctor Strange. There was like a left and right click exploit that you were doing extra damage. It was actually found out in the tournament, if I remember right, by if I remember, it was an Overwatch Pro player that found it and exploited it quite a bit. That is now fixed. Groot. So Groot has a bit of a um, he got a bit of a nerf. So his walls are not as sustainable. It felt like his walls stayed up forever, like forever, and yeah. So that's kind of toned down a little bit. Magneto, if you're a Magneto fan, he got a little bit of a buff. He has a shield button, like his own little personal shield, kind of like Hulk does, which is really cool. Because it felt like you always had to use like your like little shield to um just to mitigate damage for yourself, and it was kind of annoying. Um, your left shift. Speaking of left shift, it does have a smaller cooldown to re-put up. It's not as similar to like Reinhardt, for example, or Doctor Strange. It does have a small cooldown. Um, but you can like when you take it down, you can like reactivate it like really quickly if you need to. Like if but if you don't reactivate it like really quick, it will immediately go down for about 2 seconds. Um, Black Panther, like oh my god. So one thing that um they did make the wall writing a little bit smoother for like Venom and the Spider People and Black Panther, for example. So they made sure to definitely talk about that because it was a big issue with Black Panther. Um, but one of the biggest buffs that they did for Black Panther. So his team up is with magic, where she can create this little portal for him or for them, and he can use it too. And I was like, that's cool, to help sustain. But like, what if like she's on the other side of the map and you're over on the other side, and you're like, well, yes, that sucks. Now he can cast his own little portal and use it, while also still being able to use the magic portal. Like, do you know how easy it'll be to close the gap even more? Like, if you like Black Panther was like, if you're really good at skill shots, Black Panther, you could close gaps. Oh, amazing! Now you can close it even better. Like, holy crap! Um, yeah, I'm excited to see what people do with Black Panther as a mostly support player or a strategist, as they're called in Marvel Rivals. Um, I'm probably gonna get torn up by this Panther. Just saying. Next up we have Hela. So Hela, uh, basically she was a no scoping sniper. Um, she would just long range snipe you in the head, and you're just like, well, guess I'm dead. Now she has a damage fall off on her left click, so it does a lot less damage. Not a lot less, but let's say a little less damage than it did at a much longer range. So you have a little bit more to go against that. One of my favorite heroes, Iron Man. Not my favorite Avenger, but just heroes in this game. Iron Man got a buff. So he does a lot more damage at a further range. So it's kind of the opposite of what Hela got. Um, and he did get an increase with his team up with Hulk. So when he pops his E and does more damage, it does more damage now too. So he's just getting boom, boom, boom. The only problem with Iron Man, and I guess every character has to have some weakness. His maneuverability was kind of his downfall. So eh, I wish they did him something a little bit more speed increase, like natively when he's in the air. But I'll take what I can get. Namor, for like the two Namor players out there, his damage did increase. Um, and then his little bubble that heals him, you're able now to move around with it, which is really awesome because like a lot of times you go into a team fight and you might get into the back team a little bit, and you just pop your bubble, and the team kind of just like waits for you to come out of the bubble, and you're just dead. So yeah. So then you have Punisher. Punisher, is I'd say it's more of a rocket. So it's a the team up with Rocket and Punisher. Um, it gives Punisher infinite ammo for his guns, and makes him shoot faster. Um, the duration is shorter, so it doesn't last as long. Um, so with Loki, Loki was, I wouldn't say it's kind of a buff. So they're trying to put more emphasis on his illusions, to make it a little bit better. So the the illusions kind of like damage and heal a little bit, or they're more responsive to it, to like the abilities and the left clicks and everything, which is really cool. Mantis, definitely got buffed. Her ultimate, um, if like one of the problems was her ultimate is like if your teammates are healed, it's like, oh, there's not now it's kind of a waste. It now provides an overhealth, which is really really cool. Um, so yeah, it she definitely needed something to help her. She does like good small sustain, but nothing for bursty kind of stuff besides her ultimate. And that definitely does help out. One thing I noticed, I didn't notice in the alpha, but I did notice on the stream, and I was trying to ask a question about that, and I didn't get a response. Her inspire that gives a damage buff. They now put like a little icon above the nameplate, which is really cool. Um, Again, I don't recall seeing that in the alpha, so if you did see that in the alpha, um, comment down below. Let me know I was wrong. Um, yeah, please let me know. So another thing they were talking about was they did the cosmic pick ban system. Um, they basically this is in Diamond 3 and up. If you're doing competitive, it's competitive only, Diamond 3 and up. So basically, everyone on your team will pick a hero to ban, um, and the hero picked the most will be banned. I don't know if everyone picks all different heroes to ban. I think it's gonna be a random pick. Um, but that's gonna be how that is. Um, I know that they said in the Clash the Clash tournament, it will be a little bit different. I think it's like Team A banish a hero, then Team B banish and pick a hero, and vice, and keep going back and forth. So yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes because they have what, those 21 heroes now, so it's a limited hero pool. So I'm for it, to be honest, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Maybe they do better than other games, so we'll see. They do plan on doing new game modes. Right now they have a couple different types of game modes. They have like the escort the payload thingy. You have um there was another like you pick up a an orb, um or you deny an orb kind of thing. That game mode kind of crashed on me a bit. I think it was more my graphics card, but I'm not sure. So I didn't get to play that one quite much. But they do plan on talking about it more down the line. Maybe at San Diego Comic Con, which they will be at. So make sure to, if you're going there or in the area, check it out. They do plan to do cross-play availability. They do plan to keep PC with PC, console with console. But if you're a console and you want to play with PC, you do have the option. Um, but they do not plan to have cross-platform progression. Or at least right now, it's in discussion, so we'll see what comes about of it. But right now there is no plans for it yet. They Someone did ask about if they plan to do PVE. Um, the answer was no. They want to make the best PvP shooter game. So no Marvel Rivals 2. Um, they did introduce a really cool system, which most FPS games have. It's a kill cam. They do call it the past life. There is a bit of a loading screen when you die to show the past life. Um, and it's more of a it shows you what they did to kill you. So yeah. Um, they do plan to do controller remapping. So you can kind of like just like adjusting keybind. With console players, you will be able to do remapping, which is great. Um, and then lastly, they do plan to, or they don't plan to do any role queuing. If you're not familiar with that, um, right now, if you're familiar with an Overwatch, um, they did a role queue system where you had to, at least it first started, two tanks, two damage, and two support. And then now it's one tank, two damage, two support. Uh, they plan to keep it in the open queue system, where you have 6 players on the team. YOLO. You could play 3 tanks, 3 supports. You can go goats. You guys are familiar with that. You can do 6 damage dealers. You can do 6 tanks, 6 supports. Whatever the heck you want. Go crazy. Make the comps. And then lastly, right now they do plan on doing Twitch drops from the 25th to the 28th. So make sure to check out your favorite streamer, like me. You'll find me on twitch.tv/10 letters 10. There's also a lot of other great content creators out there. So make sure to check myself or any of them out. Any of them in the Marvel Rivals category will get a chance to get the Twitch drop. They are limited to a first come, first serve. You do have to watch 60 minutes or 1 hour of combined viewing experience in a Twitch, and you have to have your Twitch connected with on marvelrivals.com to get that accounted for you. And then once you do get the Twitch drop, um, you select if you want to do it on Steam, Xbox, or PlayStation. And then that's the key you get. There's only one key. Another way you can get a key is if a friend of yours gets level 6 in the battle pass. You will have a chance. They will get a key. If you are streaming it, it does show up on stream when you click it. So make sure to not fall for what I did, or a lot of other streamers did too. Um, but if you have friends that are in there, they get level 6. They can also give you a key as well. Thank you guys for watching. Please let me know in the comments below any heroes that you're excited for. I know myself, I am excited for a Psylocke. But for now, I will be an Adam Warlock main, probably stick to Rocket or Luna Snow. But until Psylocke comes out, that's when we'll be playing. Make sure to stay tuned for future updates. I'll try to keep you guys updated. And I'll see you guys next. Peace.